Hello guys, I'm so sorry. I was having a network problem and I had to go off and then come back to live again. I'm so sorry for the incidents. We are still going to continue the show. We are not yet done. So those of you who was online, kindly join back because we are not yet done. And as I told you, we've already started something. Okay, we've already started something. This man was actually sharing his experience, and you can sense the smell in it that there is a whole lot for us to learn tonight. And one thing I always tell people is that being musician is not actually easy. You understand? Being a musician is not actually easy. It's not something on a silver platter. Okay, so you have to earn for it. You need to work very hard for it, because mind you, somebody will be awake at night and be learning, and you expect to be the same with that person. It is impossible. Okay, so that is why tonight we are very fortunate to have my father. I mean, everything. He's everything to me. Mr. David Lasta. He has been into this music industry for so long. So those of you who were watching our previous live interview, he was actually teaching us a whole lot. So if you're online, just type in Journey to Success, and then I'll just give you a shout out and we just go. So if you're online, just type in at the comment section Journey to Success. If you're like, okay, I think he's back. So I'm going to put him on camera for us to continue the show. I'm so sorry, Daddy. I'm so sorry. I had a little problem, slow. I just have to go back and then come back again. Yeah. So if you just join, just share the video, tag every musician out there. We are about to end it. We are about to continue. We are in the middle of the interview. So if you are online, kindly share the video. Let people know that Music Journey is actually in progress. Yeah. So just type in Journey to Success, and then I'll give you a shout out. Yeah. So I'm gonna put in on camera, and we just start the show. So Mr. David, I'm getting you back on camera. So if you are on the show, just type in Journey to Success, and then I'll just give you a shout out. And don't forget to bring in. I'm going to read it out. My father is actually here to,
We're
answer
back.
questions. Yay! I'm so sorry. I had a little problem again. I'm so sorry. Today,
It's
I don't know
not
what
your
is
fault.
actually happening.
It's the internet. It's the
I don't know
internet.
what is actually happening. But don't worry. I'm going to schedule another day with you again. People are actually enjoying this show, and I'm already going far too, by the grace of God. So, sir, we're actually talking, and all of a sudden it just went off. So we're just going to continue from there. So I had wanted to ask you this question. You've been playing with a lot of bands, and all these bands are great bands. You can talk of a lot of them. Yeah. So among all those bands, which band has been your favorite? Which band, if they call you today to come and play for them, you'll be happy to go and play for them?
Probably Shirley Caesar. That would be. Let me tell you why. Because of the experience of life journey. Just like you have a music journey, I have the life journey. And the
Okay.
life journey, you see, as I was about to tell you all before the camera cut off, but that ain't nothing but the devil. I understand how Satan works. Satan is. So see, when I was growing up on stage with all these groups, all these quartets, they were all singing about Jesus, 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 Jesus. A lot of them, and they were all friends. We was all friends with each other.
Okay.
But the problem was, most of them wasn't living what they were singing. See, back in the 70s, it was a whole different ball game from now. So things change. It's daylight and dark from the change of gospel music. Because back in the day, anybody, if you go to a program and you didn't have a drummer or a guitar player, well, you could get anyone. People would be happy to get up and help you out. Not so today. Because everybody now is pretty well for myself. Everybody's for themselves. So if you go, you don't have a drummer, and it's about five. Say you got 5 people on the show. All 5 of y'all got to come up and sing. Well, nobody want to help you out. They want you to do bad so they can make them look good. That's it. Believe it or not, I grew up in the era of competition. If you couldn't play,
you were actually talking about your cousin. Is it Dietrich Haddon, right?
Dietrich, yes. See.
Wow, I think he's not a pastor, isn't it?
Yes, he's pastoring in California now, the Hill City Church.
Oh, okay.
You can catch him on Wednesdays and Sunday evening in Hill City. Matter of fact, they're celebrating their 5th year anniversary now. They're celebrating the whole month, 5 years. He has a very young church. Yeah.
Wow.
But like I was saying, matter of fact, even I was telling you, but about Dietrich, the way Dietrich started out, when he started out and he was singing, doing the well dones and God is able to do. See, in the 90s is one thing, but today he's doing trap music.
Yeah, I see that in his music career. Yeah,
you have to keep up with what people are doing. You have to keep up with the time. You can't be lagging behind if you're going to keep going. So you have to be able to change with the music. So the way we did music back in the 70s and 80s, you can't come out and record that now and expect to sell it to the people, to the buyers now. The people, see, you have to change your music. You don't have to change your words, but you have to change your music and your style depending on what era is it that's going on. So, back then, the only thing you could do, and you keep that going, you were going to work it. But you can't come out with that now. If you're going to go on the world's market. Now you can go in some places. There are some people that are still doing it, but they're doing it with keyboards. They're using all kind of things to try to keep up to date, because you got to update yourself. You got to constantly update yourself if you're going to sell. So most people the people that did not update themselves, basically they are not making it. They're just not making it. What they're doing now is they're struggling. And the struggle is you got to keep up with the time and you got to sound like yourself. Now, about your band, let me tell you about your band. You see, when I first listened to you all, it's raw. It's really raw. But y'all you got a style of your own. You have your own style.
In Ghana here, they are mostly related to this local music. Okay, so if you tell me my band is actually, we do mostly raw, I don't have any doubt about that. Okay, so we are yet following people to get more stars. Okay, so I'm really proud you just identified that, and you told me that. Thank you very much. So you can continue yourself.
Yeah, I watch people. See, I wouldn't be on the show if I didn't know nothing about you. There was no way.
Wow.
I have to know people before I put myself there. And I think you're headed somewhere with what you're doing. You're not singing, you're not playing in the old style stuff, even though it all sounds the same. Now, to an American, if we listen to you, we listen to other groups, also they all sound the same. But no, you have to listen. You really have to listen. And that's what we got 2 ears for. Most people listen with 1 ear. So they hear the same. But if you listen with both ears, you will hear the distinct. You'll hear the distinct groups. You hear that particular band, that particular style. You hear them. But the thing is, like I was telling you earlier before we went off, my song here, as you can hear, this is my music here. You see this? Hear this?
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that.
I wrote this song in the 90s. It didn't sound like that in the 90s. That music did not. I brought that
I
music
can't wait to get a copy of it.
You see what I'm saying? That wasn't created to that way. In the 90s, it was Calypso. Your band could have played for me in the 90s. That song changed from that to this, from the 90s. So I wrote it. Matter of fact, I dedicated that song to Africa in the 90s when I wrote it, because of the way it was written and how it was sung. But I waited to 2020 because of what was going on in America in 2020. I couldn't record it the way it was recorded in the 90s, the way I actually wrote it, okay? Because I had to deal with something in America that we had going on for 4 years. We had to deal with some things. And so, so God gave me this song to be sung the way it's sung with an orchestra. I had to put this orchestra behind me a different way that it would reach the old as well as the new, young as well as the old. And I have to explain them to this. This song is good for now. I can sing I Come to Praise the Lord with you now. And when you die, that song, you can sing that song to the angels. So that song goes forever. So that's why I did this song this way. But I'm going back into the studio and I'm going to do that song again. But the song, you have to update yourself. You have to update yourself. And you have to know the music business, how it works. Music business has changed now from the way it used to be. It used to be everything was controlled by the record companies. And but now it's controlled by online. So it's daylight and dark. So I find myself, out of all I know about music, I'm end up behind. I'm actually behind. So that put you ahead of me because you know computer. Duh. So no one has it's like a bicycle. Whoever's on top, you push it forward, this one comes up.
Yeah.
And now this one has this. See, this was but the olden days. We pushed it up to you guys. Now y'all the computer age. Y'all gonna push it back to the next guy. And that's how you keep moving music forward. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's not so much of how good you are or what you do. You have to open up the music for who you're selling music to. Now, that's if you want to sell a lot, if you want to sell. But you have to know the computer era. You have to keep up with that. Everything is online now. So if you can do your stuff online, boom. We had to go, we went to church, concert to concert, and that's how we made our money. We sold our own record. We sold our record. That's money put in our pocket. We had it right then. We didn't have to wait on royalties to come in. We didn't have to worry about all that. So I learned how to do that from early age. So right now I own myself. See, when I did this song, I own every part of it. I am the everything. I'm the producer, writer. I'm the agent. I'm my
I think you're almost
publisher.
doing everything.
I'm my everything. I own it all.
You're
I
almost
don't pay
doing
no
everything.
money. I own it all. I'm the publisher. 50%, 50 cent of the dollar goes to me for writing the song. 50% goes to me for being a publisher.
All right, sir. I would love to ask you this question. I would love to, before you continue, I would love to ask you this question. Many musicians are out there watching us. You know, they've been willing to be at where you've gotten to, but you know, I know everything is steps. Okay, you need to pass through before you can actually get there. You understand? So, what will be your first impression, or what will you do if an artist call you to do a project with him, or perhaps her? What will be your first impression? What is the first thing to talk about if you are going to deal with an artist or play or do a project with that artist? What is the first thing you're going to talk about with that artist?
Uh, I would want to get to know their lifestyle. See your lifestyle and your attitude. If your lifestyle and your attitude doesn't equal to greatness, well, what you're gonna do is struggle on the ground. You're gonna fight on the ground a lot before you can even kick off. See, if your attitude is great, you're gonna go great. But if your attitude is nobody can't tell me anything, I'm not gonna listen to anyone, I know what I'm gonna do, well, you're gonna fight on the ground there. Everybody wants their own little thing. Everybody, one is jealous of the other. The bass guitar player jealous of this. And now I'm going to say this. Now it works it works. I don't care what type of music you're in. This works. If a woman, let's just say you're a band, 2 or 3 women can come up to one of the. Just say, I'm just going to use this as a because this is true. Can go to the drummer and say, you are better than the whole band. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no band. 2 or 3 little girls. All of a sudden, his head starts swelling that he's better than the owner than the group. If it wasn't for him, wouldn't be no group. He might go. A girl might come to the keyboard player. Ooh, you the best in the band. If it wasn't for you, the band wouldn't be doing anything. See, I'm talking attitude. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Girls, women, and their opinion, and they just be talking basically. But we in a group, we're in a band, we see each other every day, and you're practicing. It may be it may be a song, and it may be hard for you to get it. But doesn't mean you don't have it, but it be hard for this particular time. So if a girl tell the guitar player, you're the best in the band. If it weren't for you, they wouldn't even be doing that. They would be. See, that is the problem with most bands. That's what kills most bands from not growing. That's why they'll fight on the ground and never go in the air, because they think they're better than the other instead of a team. It's like everybody want to be Kobe. Everybody want to be Kobe Bryant. They want to go slam it. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Because the girl's going to see me shoot the ball. Or every time you look around, they want a solo. They want a solo on everybody's solo. It may be a bass guitar solo, but some girl told a guitar player that you're the best in the world for you. Now he wants the solo on the bass guitar solo. He wants a solo with the drummer solo. He wants to take over. That's what happens with young groups. They don't know how to work together. They may be good, it may be great, but they cannot work. I had that problem with my R&B band. I started the band. I went and picked them all out in hand. The reason I picked mine because I wanted my family to be a professional disco group, and I knew that I could do it. So I went to I got them out of different groups, put them all together, and before I started, I made them practice 9 months before they could even go out to do a show. And we practiced every day. It was a job. It was a requirement.
Okay, so let me chip in this. Aside you doing music right now, have you engaged yourself in any other thing you're doing aside music? Have you engaged yourself in something different you're doing?
I'm a businessman.
Music?
I start businesses. I am an entrepreneur.
Good.
And
So all right, good. So that would bring this question. How would you balance your work and then your music career together? Okay, for now you've been already there. A beginner is coming right now, learning music. Want to do work and then add music to it. What would be the quality advice or good advice you would love to give to that person to balance that music and then work together? will you advise that person to go for one, or how are you going to go about this to advise someone coming up like that? What will you do, or what will you tell that person?
Well, in today's market, that's what I would tell people. First thing, I couldn't tell them what the way I came up and doing it in the 90s. But you have to, first of all, you have to know your skill. You have to know your craft. You have to know what you're doing. I made my band practice every single day, except for Sunday.
Wow.
When you get off work, you have a certain time to be at rehearsal. Rehearsal starts at 7 o'clock. If you're not at rehearsal at 7 o'clock, you're fined $10.
So almost every day your band rehearse.
Every day. No if, and, buts, or maybe. I don't care. You rehearse every day. And it took us 9 months to get a show together. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not one you're going to get me out there in front of people and embarrass me. You know, I don't want this singing, the background singing out of key. You know, you have to be, practice makes permanent. Most people say practice make perfect. It don't make perfect because there's nobody going to be perfect, but it makes permanent. What you learn, you can do it over and over and over and over again because it's permanent. But if you don't practice enough, most people practice once a week, but you got more stuff going on in the world. It's just like you're on your job. You go on a job and I don't care if it's making hamburgers. When you first start making hamburgers, you're not going to be good at it. But you're going to do it every day for 8 hours. You're going to do the same thing every day for 8 hours. And if you're on that job a year, man, you're great because you've done it every day for 8 hours. But you want to be able to make a living in music, you're only doing that once a week for maybe 2 hours. And maybe an hour of it may be really good rehearsal.
All right. So what will be the least hours you need to rehearse as a musician?
Say that again.
I mean, what will be the least hours? I mean, like, what will be the least hours as a musician you need to practice? How many hours do you have to practice?
I give it 4 hours every day.
4 hours every day.
Every day. If you're going to be good.
Wow.
Because remember, people are going to be buying your product. It's like your food. Now, let me tell you how you got to look at your music. Just say that your band is a buffet. It's a restaurant. And you got the guitar, the bass, the guitar is the biscuits, the bass is the chicken, the keyboard is the spaghetti and meatball, and you got all these different things on your buffet. But you don't really put in any time for flavoring. You don't. A flavoring is your time that you put in. As you put that time into the practice, you're going to begin to get that flavor right. Because if you're cooking spaghetti every day, you're going to get the flavor right. You have to taste your own food before you can give it to someone else. If it don't, if it's flat for you, it's going to be flat for someone else. They're the one that's buying it. You're not spending any money on your own song. Other people have got to come into your restaurant and buy your food, and you want them to come back again. But if your food is not good, there are people tell you, oh, if you ask somebody, how was the restaurant? They're going to say, oh, it was great, it was great. But when they leave, they never come back. You know they was lying. They didn't want to tell you the truth. But if you spend that time in practice, you got to have at least 4. See, it's called a commitment. If you're going to do music, you got to commit yourself to it. You commit yourself to everything else. But now you're selling something to someone else. If you're selling to someone else, you got to put some flavor in it. So I tell everybody, everything is like food. You got to put that flavor in it, and everybody's got to be willing to do it. And the next thing is timing. You got to be on time. Your rehearsal time has got to be just like your job. Because you're not getting, because you start at 7 o'clock, here come the bass player in at 8. Here you the bass player, you come in at 8 o'clock, it starts at 7, you get to 8, The keyboard player, he's mad. The drummer's mad, I'm here. And then tomorrow, the drummer's not there. So you only got 4 hours to practice. So what I did, if you weren't
That
there
is
at
very
7
bad.
o'clock, if you weren't there at 7 o'clock, you had 10 minutes. And after that 10 minutes, you get fined $1 a minute for every minute that you were late. So and most of them started out, they didn't want to do it, they didn't care. So I'm not going to give you the money, but what happened was when we do a show, before I pay them, I take my money out for them being late. After a couple of times, they figured it out. Man, I missed that $25. That's $30. So they start being on time. It took a while, but I stuck to my gun. Sometimes I would be late on purpose, and I would come in as an example, and they had a big clock on the wall, and they would tell me how many minutes I'm late. I pull that money out of my pocket and put it in the trash, and I will apologize and start playing. We didn't do nothing without prayer. We start praying. So I mean, every time somebody's late, you delayed someone learning. I didn't do no other song until we got one perfect. If someone messed up one time, if you mess up on that particular song, that means you don't know it. You start over again from the beginning. 4 hours, sometimes we sung one song 2 weeks. And what I do, I would record it and play it back to us so we can hear what other people are hearing. See, many people don't hear themselves. They don't know what they sounding like. You play your rehearsal back to yourself and you'll see what you sound like. And I did that every day for 9 months until I had a show. And when we did our first show, we was ready to go because it was just like rehearsal. I rehearsed just like I was doing a show. There was no difference. You can't get on a show and do something you haven't rehearsed. You can't do that because you don't know what's going to happen. So that's the key. If you're going to be great, you got to rehearse, and you got to rehearse what you're going to do. Don't try to be no Kobe Bryant. Don't try to be no Michael Jordan. Do what you do. It's a team. It's a team. Let everybody.
All right. So we just try to be yourself.
Yes. And the deal is when you practice together, you get to learn everyone's weakness because everybody's not on the same level. So you may be on a level where you know what's going on. Well, the keyboard player may be he may miss a few things because he got to do keys and sing. Well, he may be so everybody gets on his level. You have to come down to the weak. You remember, you're no stronger than your weakest link. No matter how great you are, that's what I'm saying. If you got some hot shots in there, a girl untold, just say a girl untold, 2 or 3 girls that went and told their favorite guy, oh, you're the best in the band. Well, for you, it wouldn't be no band. It wouldn't sound worth the crap. You making a whole band. If it gets in his head, believe it or not, he'll be late, won't pray, he'll come in late, won't pay, half practice because he thinks he's the bum. He's bum.com. But what happened, it hurts the whole band because when you get on the show, that will be the one that mess up everything. That one.
Okay, so imagine yourself, imagine playing with your band and somebody just mess up or play a wrong note. How would you take that? Or are you going to correct that person in, during section, during playing?
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. On the stage, it didn't happen. But they know. Okay. They know because the way I rehearse them. Everybody knows. Because where you're going to mess up at is where you always mess up at.
Okay, so have you had a worse performance before?
Say that again.
Have you had a worst performance before, like you playing, the audience are not corresponding?
Oh yeah, we was in I think it was Fayette, Mississippi, on stage with a guy with Bobby Rush and Denise LaSalle, they were all there on stage on the same show with us. And I was so nervous because these were the guys that, because we sung their songs. And all of a sudden now they're on stage with us. What am I going to do? I'm hoping I can stand up to these guys. Now, I know when I was in gospel music, I could stand up to anybody, but this is R&B. So I'm going like, how am I going to do this? I was missing notes myself on the guitar. I couldn't do nothing right because I was starstruck. But the band was practicing, had already know when you're on stage and you're messing up, I don't care if I hit 12 sour notes, but they keep right on going like it ain't happened. Amateur. Because they don't show it. Everyone makes mistakes. You know, it don't get to the point where they're. I think you done froze up on your end again. I think you froze up. I think you're frozen up on your end. Yes, your internet has frozen up. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yeah, yeah, you done froze. Your internet's freezing up. Yeah, you're free. You're frozen. You're frozen. You're frozen. You have a big delay right now. Your end is a big delay.
All right, so as I told you, this is Music Journey, and I told you today we are going to learn a lot, and this man is actually, you know, teaching us a lot. You know, being a legendary in music is not that easy, okay? So wherever you've gotten in music, don't panic, because this show is actually designed for you to learn a whole lot, okay? Very soon I'll bring him on camera again. I had a problem, so I'll be bringing him on camera again. Wherever you are, if you are online, just type in Journey to Success, and then I'll just give you a shout out. And we have already had discussions um, behind. So if you have any question, you can just drop it in the comment section. I'll read it out for him to answer. If it is beyond my level, I'll give it to him for him to answer. So wherever you are watching Music Journey, and our response is actually Journey to Success. So if you are online, just type in Journey to Success, and then I just give you a shout out. So that is how it's going to be like. So very soon we're just going to come to an end with the program. So I'm going to bring him on camera. Yeah, I'm going to bring him on camera so that we continue. We have few hours left to close. So come in with your questions. My sister Princess Anne, Okay, sir. I'll get you back on camera. Um, Junior Cake is actually watching Ajua Momo. Thanks for watching. Prince, is it Prince Anne? Miss P, thanks for watching. Um, Mama Asuda Demoji, thanks for watching. Philip Mensa, thanks for watching. So your comments actually encourages a lot. So you just bring in your question. Let me know you are following. Okay, so that anytime we come on live, whatever questions you have, the whole week you can get a question and then send it to me personal on my DM so that I can put it down whenever I have the guest around. I'll just give it to him and him or her to answer. Yeah, so I'm bringing Mr. David Laster back so that we continue what we're doing. So if you've not shared this video, kindly share it for me. Kindly share. Not share this video. We have few hours. Sorry, we have few minutes left to close. Today I'm really blessed to have this man. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm really learning a whole lot. And mind you, I'm a bass guitar player like you, and I'm really learning a whole lot to apply in my band. I'm so happy to have this man. And day in and day out, you need tips on your musical career. You need to learn things for yourself because you might not know where you got to. Opportunity, they say, come but once. You understand? So just grab
Yeah.
it, and it's so simple. You just get there. So this man is actually a blessing to us today. Very soon, I'm gonna invite him over again. I'll still talk to him and then get him back on camera again. Today, I think the network was very bad for me, so I'll try as much as possible. And then maybe, normally at the end of the month, I actually bring groups. Yeah, groups. I just bring groups, mostly three. Last week I was very fortunate to have Ashley Barnes. She's also a great musician out there. And very soon I'll bring Mr. David Lester and Ashley Barnes, the two of them, and then we'll compare and then we'll learn a whole lot. There are a whole packages for us to learn. So don't panic yet. You have a whole lot to learn, and these people are out there to help you. So if you are having any problem, you just DM me. If you're having any problem, just DM me, and I'll just confront them, and then you'll see how best they can help you. Thank you very much. And then if you're online, just type in Journey to Success, and then I'll just give you a shout out. Yeah. So Mr. David Lester, so fortunate to have you this evening. My people are really learning a lot. I'm really getting a lot of messages on my WhatsApp. I don't know why the network is actually doing this. So we'll still continue, but we have few minutes to close. So I'll make it quick and snappy because I'll be bringing you back. Automatically, I'm going to bring you back, and then I'll schedule a nice day,
That's a lot. It's
a
a lot
day
to
that
learn.
will be
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so that mind you, it might be holiday here, so that people will actually follow. Yeah, I think it's late here. It's 10:31 here. That is why most of them are asleep. Yeah, so I'll leave you to continue what you are doing or what you were talking about. All right, so up to you, sir.
To try to wrap it up, I know we don't have a lot of time, but when you're trying to talk music,
Okay.
music is a lot.
All right. So I was actually asking you about someone coming into the music industry. What would be the advice? That person is actually doing a work, is having a work he's doing, and then wants to do the music together. What would be your advice for that person if that person wants to take the music career to the next level? What would be your advice for that person?
Well, see, the thing is, go back to attitude. Attitude equals altitude. Your attitude depends on how high you go. Because when you start out in music, everyone wants to be great. We want to go high. We want to do the best we can. We don't want when you start in music, you don't want to be a failure. You want to be successful. But because you don't hit it off, when you first start, many people won't make it because people don't want to hear them when they first start. You may have some ups and downs. People just may not want to hear you when you first start. Well, that's just like anything that's new. Anything new is hard to get it going, but your attitude has to be, I am already a star. Whatever you want to be, I'm already a star. Wherever you want to be, you got to be that when you start. You can't be that when you get there. You have to be there when you start. Because what you start, you got to walk it through it. If you if you can't see the end of the tunnel, you just have to walk where you think it is until you see some light. You just keep walking. And if there's 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 that's with you, which we call a group, you got to walk together. You know, if one get tired and can't walk, well, everybody just got to slow down a little bit and walk with that one, because if that's the weakest link, that's all your strength is. That's how strong you are. So you have to walk according to the weakest one. So getting into the music nowadays, anybody can do it, but it's different now. It's easier to sell music now than it was when I came up. I came up the hard way, where you have to have somebody pushing you out there. If you want your music played on the radio, you have to be in a record company. If you want to be in the music stores, you got to be in a record. That's no longer true now. You can go on the internet and become a star, instant star. But your music has to be good. That's the deal.
Wow, wow. So wherever you're watching us, I believe you heard everything. Your music has to be good. Your music, upon all you're going to do, your music has to good. It has to make an impact into people's life. Let
Yes.
people enjoy whatever you are doing, and practice as much as you can. You know, mind you, I used to watch this man, Richard Bona. Richard Bona really advises when playing the bass. He's so focused on the bass that you know, whatever he plays, he understands what he plays. You know, you
Yes.
might be out there having the skills, you can play anything. Mind you, any skill you can play, the blues skill, the jazz skill, any skill, you can play everything. But mind you, if you don't have this theory in your head, you don't know whatever you are doing, you need to step back. You have the skills. It's not too late. It's not too late for you.
Right.
You can go back and then do the music theory very well. And at least when you get somewhere, people might ask you, what did you play over there? And you'll be able to answer them. Because mind you, you play something and then somebody will just phone you when you get to the house, and then just phone you like, man, what you play was so great. How did you do it? And then you just get stuck and then you don't know what to do. So it is always good to do the theory and then the practical as well. So do your homework very well. And then I
Yes.
believe God being on our side, we are going to get there. So sir, I want to ask whether you have a music class or a section you do to help people out there. You know, people want to learn. You know, your time you didn't get that, but yeah, day and day in out you are growing. And I just want to ask whether you have a music class. If people want to learn, you love to put it on board for them to come in, or yeah, perhaps let them know about it. Yeah. So if there is something like that,
Well,
the platform is for you, sir.
at this time, I don't, because I own 4 businesses myself that I have to run every day. And I have to do my music also. And I'm very, 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 very busy. I work a lot. I work all day and all night at what I do. But I also give myself 8 hours of sleep. No matter what time I get to bed, I'm going to give myself 8 hours. It don't matter. If I work all day and I get to 3 o'clock at night, I'm going to give myself 8 hours of sleep. Because if your body is wore down, you're no good. But I can't do everything. But I'm going to tell you what I am now doing. My last thing that I am doing now, along with everything else, the Lord has laid on my heart, along with all the things. I do start people in business. I start simple businesses. I teach people to own their own business, and I believe that's what everyone should do. If you own your own business, then you have time to do the things that you want to do as a professional. I don't believe that a professional musician should be working on a job, because what's going to be happening is you're going to give that job the 8 hours that they have to have. Then when you get off that 8 hours, you're tired. I went through that. I had that. But we had to push through that. But we was young then. I was your age. At your age, you got to do it now. You got to push through. But if I had known what I know now, I would have started my own business. And I would have had someone else working for me, making money for me while I'm doing my music. What you want to do is get a business that you make money while you sleep.
Wow.
See, you want to do, every artist should have their own business, because you want to put your skills into your music. So you have to start a business that someone else is doing for you. You know, like if you go to buy a hamburger, well, the person that owns the hamburger joint is not there working in that hamburger joint. They got other people's working, but what they're doing, they're probably laying out on vacation somewhere. So, but me, I do complicated businesses. I do hybrid batteries. I rebuild batteries. I paint. I do things that I like. I like cars. I like to paint cars. I like to fix up things. I like to do rag tops. I like to do flip flop. But I want to train other people to do that, so I can get my whole focus on what I'm doing. If a customer wants their car done like me, I can train some young person, go down and do the paint and body work. Other one put the rag top on it. Someone else do the upholstery. And once I got that, I can go back in and get my studio and start playing. And when at the end of the week, I can sell 3 cars. But I can't do it if I'm doing it myself. So at your age, if y'all are young, own your business while you're young. Don't wait till you get older. Do it now. If you can dream it, you can do it. So a simple business is just what I do. People pay me. It's costing money because it's my time. They give me $100 US dollars. I will give them a business. I will put them in a business. But now it's just like in Guyana, I can't tell you what's going on in Guyana because I don't know what's going on in Guyana, but only in the U.S. Here in the U.S., I can tell people what to do. But I'm learning how to do it in other countries now because I can know how to study. I can go study the demographics of what's happening in another country now. And I can also do the same thing in other countries. Musicians have to own their own business because the music business is a business. If you don't know how to own a business, it's hard to do business. Music is business. The business is number 1, but the music is number 2. What it sounds like is number 2. You might sound real good, and this is my closing state on this. You can be the best that there is. You can sound great, have it all together. But if you don't know business, you'll never make any money in the music business. Everybody else is going to rip you off because no one is going to be honest when it comes to money. You have to know how to handle your own money. No one's going to tell you they ripped you off $5,000 last year. They ain't going to tell you I ripped you off $100,000 last year. They're going to pay you $10,000. They're going to put the $100,000 in their pocket. If you don't know your business, you just wondering what happened to the money. They're going to tell you, well, we did this, we did. No, they're ripping you off because you don't know business. Learn business first. Take care of your own self because no one else is going to do it. Then the second thing is learn how to sell yourself. Sound good, sell yourself, hone your skills. So the more businesses you own, the greater you're going to be in your music business. That's my thing. So there's many people that on TV right now. You think they're making money. You think they're rich. They got the gold chains on. They got it all. And they got the rap songs they throwing down, and everybody going to be just like them. But as soon as they get off the TV, they got to get all that stuff right back to the one they done got it from. And they get their little $200, and they go into the house. The people that made the money was the business people because they are not business people. It just looks that way. So don't be fooled. If you can't do business, people are going to rip you off because everybody wants your money. The Bible said the love of money. So people rip you off and how to make money off of you, and you doing all the work but making nothing. That's the gospel. I'm not going to do that. And I'm teaching people now to own their own business. Do it now. Start when you're young and grow up in business, and you'll be able to do just like me. If I could duplicate myself 500 times, I would have 500 businesses. But
Okay.
it's hard to find people that'll do that. So that's what I say. I would tell everybody, if you're going to do business, learn how to do business first. Learn business. Once you learn business, then you can go out and begin to go and do ministry and do other things. Because remember, church folk will rip you off too. Just because they saying Jesus, 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 I'm telling you, they'll rip you off quicker than anything else. You got to know business.
Okay. All right. So we are far behind time. So I guess we are going to continue this some other time. And
It's a lot.
will
It's
be,
a
I
lot.
think, yeah, there's a lot for us to talk about. So I'll try as much as possible to get you back on my show again.
I'll be
So
happy to come.
Mr. David Lester, Mr. David Lester, what would you tell people who are actually watching Music Journey? What will be your advice for them, your last word for them before you go?
The last thing I'm gonna tell y'all is put God first. If you're gonna go, I don't care what kind of music you're doing. I'm gonna tell you, just put God first and keep God first. And then put your music business, all your other things last. You got to put that last, because you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have things going to happen to you that you're going to think, you're going to hear all kind of voices. There's all kind of voices. You have got to know that you know that you know that you're doing what you want to do in the end. So you got to live like you're dying. If you live like you're dying, then you're going to do what you got to do. Don't let no day go by that you're not working on what you really want to do for a living. I do what I want to. I do what I want to do for a living every single day. I get up, I do what I want to do for a living, and I work hard. I don't play with it. But the thing is, ministry is who I am. I'm a minister. Ministers minister. That's what they do. So if you're going to be a music, you're going to be a music or whatever. But this is Music Journey, so it's all about music. Get serious about what you're doing. If you start by yourself, you got to be by yourself and be serious, that God send you somebody with you that's just as serious as you. And that's how it's got to be. If they're not as serious as you are, you're unequally yoked. You got to be yoked up with somebody that has the same vision that you have, and you can go. But don't go with somebody that's going to be a hot shot. And it's hard to find hot shots. Hot shots want to be the star of the show. And they came in Johnny late. It doesn't matter. If you got a leader, listen to that leader. Don't try to be greater than the leader. You're only as, and the leader has to understand he's only as strong as the weakest link. You have a weak link because that's all you can have. That's all you got. But if that weak link is faithful, then you keep that weak link. But if you got a weak link and they are hot shot, you got to remove them and get you someone else. That's just the way it goes. You can't be stuck on some person because they're your friend. And your friends are the worst people to put your life into. Because your friends are never going to see it your way. They'll never see you as a star. They'll never see you as who God told you to be. Friends. So sometimes you got to get rid of friends. If they don't see it your way, you got to shake their hand. I had to do that all my life. I had some friends that we grew up with. As soon as we got in the middle of everything was growing, 3 of them quit at the same time, 3 of them, and they were my singers. because they wanted to hurt the group, because somebody told them if they can't do nothing without y'all, if it wasn't for y'all, and they were my friends. I simply
Wow.
trained my keyboard player, my bass player, and the drummer to sing their parts, and we kept right on going. So you can't have any weaknesses. So that's
Okay.
my thing, is don't get stuck on nobody. God give you the vision, you're the only one can do it. If God gave the vision to you, you're the visionary. Can't nobody else live your vision. God gave it to you, you're the leader. Everyone else have to follow. If they don't, it's a division. Anything with two heads is a division. And that's it. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I believe people are already blessed, and people are actually adding tips on their music career, and that is great. That is why we always try as much as possible to bring this show every weekend for you to get tips in your music career, for you not to get stuck on whatever you do. Okay, so we are really blessed to have you, sir, and we really appreciate, and we are planning to get you back on this show again because we really have a lot to talk about. That is great. Wherever you are, family, that is where time will permit me to bring music journey to an end. Yeah, so wherever you are, keep watching Music Journey. Today we are fortunate to have Mr. David Laster, and it is a great experience. And we are all learning. We are all learning. So I actually told you at first that if you have any question, drop it, and he will be coming on again. So prepare your questions. He's going to answer it. If it's beyond my level, I'll just give it to him to answer. So thank you very much, and um, I'll leave him so that he go, and whatever you need to know, I'll let you know. I'll be bringing him back again. So just um, put your calendar at a safe place, and then we're going to talk about it soon. So, Mr. David Lester, thank you very much for coming on the show. I'll leave you, and thank you very, very, very much. We are
God
so
bless you.
blessed to
Thank
have
you.
you. You're welcome. So I'll leave you
God,
to do whatever you want to do. We'll talk soon. Thank you very much, sir.
okay. God bless you.
All right, so people of God, wherever you are, this is where time will permit me to end Music Journey. So try as much as possible. If you didn't invite any musician of yours to join, try as much as possible to bring someone next week, because you might not know, I might be bringing him. Yes, yeah, I might be bringing him. Yeah, so keep sharing the video. Keep sharing the video. If you want to know more about your routine or roots, if you want to know more about music, if you want, even you've not hold any instrument before, don't worry, they are there to help you. So as he was saying, he actually don't have a class for now, but um, I'll try as much as possible. If you want to learn instruments, I'll link you to people um, I've bring on my show for some time now. So God bless you all. I'm your host, Mr. Jazzy. See you same time next week. Before I go, let me give shout out to some people before I leave. Philip Mensah, you were watching. Shout out to you. David Laster, yeah. Shout out to you, sir. Is it Jamal? Jamal was also watching. Shout out to you. Miss P. Miss P. Shout out to you. Ajua Momo. Shout out to you. Junior Cake, my band leader. Shout out to you, bro. I believe we are going to involve the rest to join next week. I'm very happy to have this interview with Mr. David Lester, and um, very soon I'll still talk to him, and then we'll finish what we're supposed to finish. Okay, so I'll leave you. Time is far spent gone, so this is where time will permit me to end the music journey, and try as much as possible to tag every musician. The video will be there, so if you missed it, you can actually go back to um, watch it and then just learn something for yourself. Thank you very much and see you same time. I will always be your host on Music Journey. Thank you very much. So if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go to YouTube and then search for Music Journey. I do have a couple of videos there. Yeah, I do have a couple of interviews I've made so far over there, so you can follow. And then you can also follow my page too on Facebook. Just go to your comments, sorry, your search section, and then you search for Music Journey. Yeah, it will just appear with me sitting on the chair holding my bass. Yeah, just follow, and then every update you are going to get. Thank you very much. God bless you for watching. God be with you. Have a good night. Bye bye.